What'd you expect last night, Tone?
I thought it would be a high-scoring game. I thought you'd see the offenses dominate, and that's pretty much what we got. I didn't expect Tom Brady to maybe be as sharp as he was. I knew he'd be focused and ready to play, but I didn't expect 19 straight completions. And I think I expected a little more consistency from the Pittsburgh offense. But overall, I thought that the Patriots would win. It's a very, very difficult atmosphere for the visitors to go in on that opening night and win. And we did. We got a raucous crowd and a great performance by the Patriots.
Explain this to me about the headsets. The Steelers' headsets, the coaches, the first 14 minutes of the first quarter, they were not able to use those because they were getting the Patriots radio network. But we find out that the Patriots were also getting that, I believe, as well. Now, what is the rule as the coach who's going through this? What could you have done if you're Mike Tomlin?
And what Mike Tomlin did, you reported to the officials, hey, our headsets are not working. They have someone from the NFL who then comes over and works on them. While they're fixing them, the other team has to put their headsets down and not use their communication. So either no one has them when they're both up and running, then they go back. So that's exactly what happened. I'm not sure how long it took to get it fixed and when both sides got up and running, but that happens a lot. We've gone to wireless headsets and you get that interference, and it's just one of the things that happens. Usually they fix it in a couple of minutes. So,
but Tomlin said it happens here, talking about New England.
Right. And it very well could. I have to say in the times that I was up there, it never happened to us, but a lot of teams have complained about it. It could just be the area of the stadium and where it is and wireless reception, just like when you're on your cell phone. In some places, it's just bad reception. Unfortunately for the Patriots, anytime anything like this happens, there's always suspicion, and is it something that they're driving that just goes with the territory. But, Dan, it does. It happens in a lot of stadiums. It happens all the time.
So it's not an excuse for the Steelers.
No, and it's frustrating, and nothing is worse than being out of your rhythm. You're used to talking to your coaches, maybe your play callers up in the booth, and now for a short period of time you don't get to use him, you don't get to talk to him. As a head coach, it's really frustrating because that's the worst seat in the house to see, and you're asking the guys what happened on this play, and you can't talk to them. It's just very, very frustrating, but it happens.
I don't think you needed headsets to have somebody tell somebody to cover Rob Gronkowski last night, Coach.
Well, you and I and Rodney were laughing because we get the scouting report from the Steelers. Hey, nobody knows how to play this guy. We've got the answer. We're going to put our hands on him. We're going to jam it to the line of scrimmage. It's not that easy. And the Patriots do a tremendous job of moving him around, flanking him out wide, shifting him, put him in motion, get in different sets where different people have to cover him. They find the matchup they like, and it's very, very tough. But Mike Tomlin was worried about that, the inexperience of his defensive secondary and recognizing all the places he could be. Obviously, New England knows that. They have a tremendous game plan of putting him in different spaces, and it looked pretty easy last night.
Where does he rank non-quarterbacks as far as greatness? Gronkowski.
Well, when he's healthy, he is a big weapon, maybe one of the biggest weapons in the league. Last year, we all talked about, well, what's wrong with the Patriots offense early in the season. They were struggling. Brady was struggling, and Rob wasn't healthy. When he got in and got to play full-time and they were able to utilize him, it made the whole offense better. He's a weapon that you have to deal with, and he makes that offense go.
If I said you could have J.J. Watt or Rob Gronkowski?
Boy, in this day and age, I'd probably take J.J. Watt because the thing you have to do is be able to rush the passer in this league to win. And J.J. can dictate so many things. He does the same things that Rob Gronkowski does on offense. It'd be close, but I'd take J.J. Watt, I think.
Talking to Tony Dungy from Football Night in America. What are you doing in Philadelphia?
I'm actually up here or down here in Philadelphia to speak to the Eagles today. I'm going to do a little reconnaissance for Football Night in America and watch them practice. We've got the Eagles in a couple of weeks, so I'll get to get a little heads up and interview some of their players. But actually, Coach Kelly and I have become close friends, and he wanted me to speak to the team about championship characteristics and what it takes to win a championship. So I'm going to do that and then watch them practice.
How surprised were you that Kelly cut Tim Tebow?
You know, Chip, he doesn't go by the book. He doesn't do what other people think he should do. He has things in mind, and you can't always figure him out. Once they traded Matt Barkley, then I was very surprised. I thought you go through camp, and Tim is your third guy, and that's the way you're going to roll. But he obviously had his eye on some other people that he thought could help the team more, and he went that way. But nothing he does surprises me because he thinks outside the box.
What about RG3 landing in Philadelphia?
Well, you know, it could happen. I'm not sure how long Washington's going to keep him, what their plans are for him, but I think if you took Robert Griffin and you put him in this offense, you see what other people have been able to do. Nick Foles, Michael Vick, even this year in training camp, Sam Bradford in the preseason, I think he's 15 out of 17 and led 4 scoring drives out of 4. It's a very quarterback-friendly offense, and you take a guy who can move like Griffin, he'd be dynamic in this offense. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't know how likely that is, but I know Chip would be interested if he's available.
Yeah, I was told that you know, they were cutting Tebow, bringing in just to have a guy as a third-string quarterback, and then if RG3 gets released, then that might be something that Chip Kelly pounces on. I know that there are a couple of good games. You got Baltimore and Denver's an interesting game this weekend. You got Dallas and you got the Giants on Sunday night. I'm looking forward to Tampa Bay against Tennessee. I'm fascinated by that.
I'm telling you, I am too. Nobody is talking about that. Maybe outside of Tampa. I live in Tampa, so I've heard it. But nationally, people aren't on this story. And you had the 1 and 2 picks in the draft. 2 young franchise quarterbacks, and to see them play against each other and who is going to be able to deal with the increased speed of the game and how are they going to be on opening night, I think it's fascinating, and I can't wait to see. I've gotten to know Jameis Winston a little bit. I know Marcus Mariota very well. They're 2 dynamic talents, and I can't wait to see it.
Now, you're friends with Lovie Smith, and Lovie coaches the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers take Jameis Winston. How much discussion did you have since your son played at Oregon with Marcus Mariota? You're well-versed in the coaching staff, and you really like him a lot. But before the draft, how much did you talk to Lovie and try to talk him into taking Marcus Mariota?
Well, I talked to Lovie one day. He asked me about Marcus, and I told him everything I knew and how much I loved him as a player and as a person. My son Eric actually interned there with the Bucs for a while. He talked to Lovie. We gave him all the information that we could. And as I said, I don't know Jameis very well, so I didn't have anything to say in terms of comparison, but I just gave him all the attributes and strengths that I saw in Marcus, and because he's a friend of ours, I was hoping he would get there. But Lovie did what they thought was best for the team and the organization. They're very happy with Jameis Winston. He's played well in the preseason. So my sales job didn't work.
Who would you have taken?
Well, I would have taken Marcus because I knew more about him. And I know that other than getting hurt, I don't see any reason he's not going to be a star in the NFL. And to me, he's a very safe pick. But we'll see what happens, and these guys will constantly be compared, just like the Elway, Marino, Kelly, that draft. And anytime there's 2 highly ranked quarterbacks, it's going to go down as who did the right thing, who made the right choice, and we'll see. And then starting on Sunday.
I'll see you over the weekend. Have fun there in Philadelphia, and thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, Tony Dungy in Philadelphia.